One of the most noticeable people on the field during OBU's football halftime show is senior Kylie Parker. She is the only baton twirler for OBU's marching band, and while it may seem she has been twirling all her life, Kylie merely picked up the skill when she first began competing in pageants, which is why she stands out both on and off the field. Parker is the current crown holder for Miss McAllister of her hometown, which gives her the opportunity to participate in the upcoming Miss Oklahoma pageant in June 2017. While winning the title of Miss McAllister was a dream come true, it was quite the journey to be where she is now.
I spent a year at OBU, and throughout that year, I decided to audition for a drum corps, which is basically a professional marching band if you've never been involved with one. And I made the team, but then I suffered an injury on my shoulder, which was the second time I received this injury. So I was unable to participate in the drum corps called the Crossmen, which absolutely devastated me. It sent me to a depression that I'd never been in before. And so that summer I decided to work at Falls Creek, and that was an eye-opener to me about my faith and my religion and where I thought my life needed to go. And as soon as the summer ended, I had a few weeks before classes started, so my mom and I decided to explore some options to correct my shoulder. And so I saw some surgeons, and they suggested some neck surgeries and some cortisone injections in my spine, which ultimately led to us finding out that I had scoliosis and I have six vertebrae in my lower spine that are herniated and degenerating, which was something that was so devastating, and it explained why my back hurt all the time. And so, with that being said, I decided to take some surgery routes, which ended up making everything worse. I had complications in my neck, which I never had before, and so that was a part of my life that was really dark. I was in pain all the time. I had to take pain pills to get through it, and I was a sophomore here at OBU, and it was a really rough time. And I stayed in my room. I wouldn't really talk to anybody, and I decided I needed to leave OBU.
Upon leaving OBU, Kylie wasn't sure where to go next, so decided to work for the next 6 months, where she was recruited to compete for Miss McAllister again, but there was a small issue.
And I didn't have a talent because of my shoulder, because color guard was what I did originally, and so I was thinking of something I could do. I couldn't really sing, I couldn't really dance, so I watched past Miss America videos and I saw a twirler, and I was like, well, maybe baton twirling is something I could do. So I ordered a baton off Amazon, and I watched some YouTube videos, and I kind of taught myself a little bit of tricks and some knowledge just watching other girls and watching tutorials and stuff.
She got second runner-up in the Miss McAllister competition, then was recruited to compete in others. Even though she did not place or win titles in these pageants, it did not affect her since she now had the opportunity to twirl for the new marching band starting at OBU.
And so I contacted the band director, and I said, I have color guard experience, but I'm kind of a baton twirler now. I'm trying to figure it out. I've only twirled for about 2 months, but if you need someone, I'm available. And so he responded back by saying, absolutely, I'd love to have you. And so he gave me free reign. I did not know what I was doing, but I tried and I figured it out as I went, and it was a lot of fun. And so I never thought I'd be able to perform with a college marching band. And here I am. I was a junior, and I came back as a junior, and honestly, if it wasn't because of the band program, I probably wouldn't have come back. And that's something that I'm so grateful for, because I got to start and finish in the same school, which is really cool.
But on February 28th of this year, new challenges arose that threatened to keep her from her dreams.
So fast forward to February of this year, I was here at OBU, and it was February 28th, which was an awful day for me. I found out in this day that we were losing our band director, which was something that was completely devastating for me and some other students, because we thought, where's the band program going to go from here? And I still had one more season to twirl, which had become something that meant so much to me since I couldn't be in the drum corps. And that same day, I happened to be in a really bad car accident as well. It almost totaled my car, and it ended up, I had 2 bulge discs in my lower back on top of everything else that we had found out 2 years ago. And so I was out of work for about 2 weeks. I had to miss class for about a week just because the pain was so intense. And I had to take really strong pain medication, which when I was taking it, I wasn't myself. I wasn't focused, and I just wasn't acting right, because I'm taking something that's altering, my brain, but it would help me feel better, and so I had to take it. And the pain was seriously so excruciating. It would keep me up at night, and it was just not. It was not a fun time at all. And during this time, um, I had the pageant director recruiting me. I said, I was just in this car wreck. I really don't think I can compete this year. And so I finally got through that stage of going to doctors, going to a chiropractor who eventually was the reason I was able to heal and become better. And through that time, I thought I wanted to compete for Miss McAllister, but do I really want to be heartbroken again? Probably not. So about a month before the pageant, the director called me and said, hey, if you're coming to town, I'd love to meet with you for lunch. So I did. And she said, I have so many girls competing. I need one more girl to compete so I can give a crown away. And I said, okay, I guess I'll do it for you. I really don't have anything put together because it's a month away. And she said, that's okay, just get me things and we'll get it going. So I did. I wore the same dress I had worn 2 years ago and same talent costume. I just came up with a different routine really quick. And unfortunately, the week before the pageant, I got strep throat for the 7th time this year. And so that really put me back, and I picked up the phone probably 8 times to call her and tell her I can't do the pageant. But there was just something inside of me that said, you know what, you need to do this, so don't give up. This is something you've worked for almost 5 years, don't give up. And there's actually a poster on my wall that's right above my couch. It's a quote from Babe Ruth. I love baseball, it's my absolute favorite sport, and it says, don't let the fear of striking out keep you from playing the game. And that's what I kept thinking to myself over and over throughout that week before the pageant. I can't give up because I'm afraid I'm going to lose. And so that's what powered me through. And I kept saying, I only have a month to prepare, so it is what it is. I probably said that 1,000 times that month, and my mom got tired of hearing it. Everyone in my life got tired of hearing it, but that's honestly what got me through it. And so the day of the pageant, I was really relaxed, honestly, because I convinced myself one of my other friends was going to win. I was like, no, it's okay. I'm just going to go have fun. I'm helping Lori. I'm helping, myself to, finish and put a period at the end of something that I started 5 years ago. Just do my best and have fun. I had a lot of friends and family there to support me, and so I competed. My interview went really well, and that night everything went pretty well. I dropped my baton on stage, but I played it off pretty well, I think, and so we got up on stage for crowning, and they called my name for the winner, and I was absolutely shocked, just like everybody else in the audience was. And of course I did that awful cry where I'm like, oh my gosh, and I have lovely pictures of that, but it was a moment that I will never forget. And it was like everything I worked so hard for finally came together on that one night, and it was incredible feeling. Even just talking about it right now, I get all giddy and I think about it, and it's really crazy to think that I am Miss McAllister and I actually did it, which is really cool because so many girls compete for years and they never ever win. And so just the honor of wearing this sash and this crown and what it means, because it's so much more than a beauty pageant. It's so much more than a pretty face or a little shiny hat or a white sash that you wear representing a town or an area. It's about service. It's about self-sacrifice. It's about giving to your community, and it's about furthering your education and impacting the world in a positive way.
Kylie Ann's story proves that no matter if you are faced with something major like a medical issue or something small like dropping your baton during a performance, you can overcome, especially when you have friends and family to support you.